Wow, we're going to take a look at some damage in Jamaica. We got birds flying before earthquakes, arc storms landing in California, volcanic eruptions. It just seems like the world is getting torn apart at threads. So let's take a look at the natural side of it, politics aside. Starting off here, before and after view of nighttime lights on the island of Jamaica after the Cat 5 Melissa rolled over. As you can see, incredible power disruptions have occurred. And pre-landfall, GOES 19 showing us exactly the depth and strength of the eye wall. That thing is incredibly large. You can see the hexagon forming almost at ocean level beneath the cloud layering. And as this had rolled on and hit land, three different eye walls for you: Aaron, Umberto, and Melissa. I think Aaron is more like a tornadic event, but I'll let you make up your own mind which one you think is going to be most ferocious. And an enormous amount of people out there labeling this as a big GW effect. So we're going to line up the Cat 4 and 5 hurricanes from 1980 to 2002. Got 27 of those. Cat 4 or 5, we got 56 of those, but our precise measurements now down to 1 millibar differences has made the difference between Cat 3 and 4. Again, our technology gets better, our monitoring gets better. Do you think the technology monitoring of storm systems in 1980 is nearly as good as it is now in 2025? Of course not. Same thing happened with sunspot count. More granular you can get, the higher the categories you can get as well. So looking at global tropical cyclone accumulated activity and energy, this is the thing. It's not about if it's Cat 5 or this is an average of all the energy contained within storms and how much that is for a yearly total of all the energy of the storms put together, cyclonic energy. So it's a different way to measure it than just a single storm of a Cat 5 or a Cat 4. So all the storms across the world smashed into northern hemisphere and global. So notice the northern hemisphere is the blue and then the global is the gray line. Now I would like to overlap this with solar cycles as well, because we go to the solar maximum, solar minimum about every 11.8 years. It's not exact, it's off a little bit, but let's say 11.8 is the average. But I'd like to overlay these here. And when your eye is looking at this chart, I would encourage you to look at the gray global bottom. This is the line you really want to look at. And if you are observant, perhaps there's a pattern in this. When we come to solar minimum, the amount of energy from the sun flowing into the system is lessened. Because there won't be as much energy, there won't be as many, You got it, correct. But nobody wants to talk about that. It'd be too much of a causation. And that's verboten in today's world. Oh, wait, they need to talk to Bill Gates. Remember, he just came out with a new announcement. So maybe we're back on the track again. I'm going to bring you some prominences off the sun. Speaking of our beautiful, life-giving, plasma-fed electric star to the left over there, big yellow thing. Solar prominence, incredibly beautiful. And if we're going to dive into the heavens, the Spaghetti Nebula. I haven't seen this one before. I look at a lot of these things from the James Webb Telescope. First time I've seen the Spaghetti Nebula, I thought I'll bring it to you. Just incredible mixing of colors. This is the autumn change in the heavens. Wall Street, Washington, the Fed, they don't care about your future. They care about control. And as they push their agenda forward, they'll take everything from you that they can. Your retirement, your portfolio, your assets, all of it. The only way to protect yourself is to stop playing their rigged game and untether your wealth from the system they control before it's too late. The simplest way, move your money into a universal asset they can't print, freeze, or devalue. That asset is gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can roll over your retirement into real physical gold and silver, wealth that's beyond their reach and in your hands. Go to 2030 Gold right now to get your free wealth protection kit. That's 2030gold.com. Noble Gold, helping you break free and take back control. A U.S.-based service team that's handled over $2.5 billion in precious metals transactions. And for a limited time only, A bonus for new qualified accounts, a 10-ounce silver American flag bar and a 1-ounce silver American Eagle proof coin. That's 2030gold.com. Noble Gold, helping you build a stronger future. Well, back here on Earth, I digress. Back to the Category 5, just making landfall right there. And this is a Ghost 19. Again, the different bands show you the moisture and the heat in the atmosphere. This is just a different way to look at it. But the result was so much damage that people are doing anything now they can get food, water, and with so much destroyed, it is, well, as you can see, people going anywhere and everywhere to get food. Now, can you blame them? Absolutely not. What would you do? Would you sit there, oh, there's food and water in that place that just had the roof ripped off and had, the entire city's to the ground almost, except for some buildings. Let's just not go in there. We don't know. I'm just going to sit here and be thirsty. Of course not. Everything's going to be stripped because the amount of resources going in there is going to be slow. I mean, you should see the infrastructure, like those roads out on the western part of the island. It's more agricultural area than it is sort of over in Kingston, which you consider like city, that sort of. Once you get further out, some of the roads are a little bit older, they're tighter, they're small. It's going to take a while to get more resources out there. Just from the road conditions and the size of the roads just by itself. Now, the Jamaican government came out with some flyover on helicopters earlier today. You can see beachside there, the resorts. But as you come in, you can see some of the damage here. I mean, pretty much everything is damaged. I don't see anything that was not affected. There are a few sparse habitation that weren't affected, but even what is considered like the palatial mansions in these areas were ripped to shreds. Like, I don't understand what the building code is there. It seems that the wealthier the home was, at least the images I'm looking at, and the very poorest of the home, they both got shattered. But what's interesting is sort of the things that were made out of mortar, like these right here. This is probably going to be the new building code and building style on the island. Like, this is these 5 plus those 2 were very little affected. You look at that and go, what was able to withstand that those are very little damaged. You start to take a look at what things were not damaged and what were, and then perhaps rebuilding, codifying that out through and seeing what would the best practice would be for these homes being rebuilt. Because if it's going to happen once, it's going to happen again. And if we can fortify the island so there's not so much damage, that would be something to think about. This is Black River. Again, everywhere you looked, it was just incredible amounts of damage. But there's always a couple standouts. Like, why are these homes the ones that were not so damaged? You see it again, like that one at the bottom there, gray roof. What is with that one? Everything else around it, incredible structural damage, roof damage. But this one seems to be, I wouldn't say unscathed, but it fared far better. So what is the building code with this one? I'm just asking like simple questions. Now, spinning storms, here you go. Arc storm coming in California here. And the large one that had gone up and brushed over into Alaska and flooded an enormous amount of area, that's the one you're looking at here. But as we move out through the next couple of days, you're going to start to see there's the second system. Putting the GIF up here for you, and you can see where it ended up. But how much the precipitation is going to be coming in, you can see the timestamps up there, November 5th, 6th, 7th. So this is your forecast out. Please be aware that this is coming and prepare accordingly. It's not going to be the biggest arc storm ever, but definitely is going to have tremendous amounts of flooding. And Taal in the Philippines, getting close up here, straight out of the waters in the lake rising. Pyroclastic flow of steam. You would not want to be anywhere close to this. This would be a incredibly superheated steam cloud rolling at you. It would just peel you pretty much. And here it is, a little wider view. We can see where that ash cloud went. And notice the homes that are down there that are about to get rolled over on the fishing village there. Like, these eruptions are starting to continue. Agusan del Sur, just minutes before the earthquake and as the earthquake was happening, it was 6.8. And look at all the birds in the evening that just took off. Now, this is not normal for birds to take off in the evening like this. They're all roosted up. But being disturbed by such a large quake, the amount of birds was almost apocalyptic in some sort of horror movies that we've seen in Hollywood. Scary. Let's get over to Nepal. You can see the peaks in the bottom right there. This is Comet Lemon, which is still in our skies for another couple weeks. You're going to be looking up to the Big Dipper for this one. It should be just to the, well, left or west of the Big Dipper if you're looking from our horizon here. And also another anomaly. This is in Chernobyl. It seems that the dogs, their fur is starting to turn blue and nobody can figure out why. It is just a strange anomaly. Thought I'd bring it to you. And those over in North Carolina with the storms passing, red at night, sailor's delight. I guess it's going to be clear skies for the morning, but that is a stunning visual right there. A painting waiting to happen. And nature never ceases to amaze. Line of clouds, Texas along the highway. Atmospheric changes all around. Yay. We're starting to see it happen everywhere across the planet. Now, is this a magnetic field disturbance where now our jet streams are indeed flowing into different locations along with possibility of cloud cells being clipped and that extra moisture pulling off? It seems like the atmospheric flows are different. The precipitation patterns are different. Just everything we're seeing is different. Now, there's a couple causations and explanations for it. We have the one that's been forced on us for 40 years, or you could look outside that and say solar activity and magnetic field declining on our planet. And remember, they've taken that data offline, swarms offline. It is online for some to see the magnetic field declines, but at the same time, what is the percentage of decline of the global magnetic field that they're not telling us about? It seems as if we get into a roller coaster downhill, the things that we understand as the bedrock and stability layers of our society turn into quicksand. We all need to eat. The CBT thing put it front and center. But if we take it on a wider scale, more macro, looking out on global crop yields, those declining because of, well, jet streams flowing moisture in different areas and causing drought in the other. That could also be part of the price rises, but you don't want to talk about magnetic field declines to the populace. You don't want to spook them. Please share this with your friends and families. Get that discussion started about these changes that are happening in real time, affecting all of us. And please remember to support my sponsors, Victor Nutrition International, Protobite Plus, 1 pack, 100 nutrients, no wasted time, no wasted nutrition, vni.life/civilization. Use the cycle 20 code to take 20% off your order. And also Alfa Vedic Dental Solutions, holistic dental solutions as we move through the changes. Quality products that can improve your life. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.